I get the Buddha shaves his head again. You guys want to know how I, Buddha, have a bald head all the time? This is how. This is a Chinese shaver. Uh, I'm supposed to bring this to Vietnam, so for my vacation in Vietnam. So we're testing it to see how much oomph it has. It's at 79% power right now. As you can see, 79% there. So, but we got a little bit of it's more sensible to use the more powerful one here, but I can't bring it because it's too cumbersome, so I've used the small one. So, Padme, Namo Padme, Namo Padme, Namo Padme, Namo Padme, Buddha loves you, Buddha blesses you. Rub the Buddha's forehead. Oh. For it is part of the Buddhist tradition to shed the physical body. The physical body leads to wants and desires that keep you connected to the earthly realms of reincarnation, samsara cycle. So one must renounce their worldly form and engage the grand nothingness that is returning to source. So when you're ready, of course, when you want to. Nothing wrong with keep on reincarnating down to Earth. It's a fun planet. Buddha eats ice cream. The Buddha ate ice cream in Aspen this summer. Buddha blessed a Calgarian cowboy man on the sea train. Buddha will explain in the shower of forgiveness, the cleansing of the forgiveness. We're now at 67%. You wipe this off and we're now at 67%. Do we have enough power to keep Buddha's cue ball, shiny head queuing? Maybe. Amitapo hum namaste hum namo namaste hum namaste hum. You have to admit the Buddhist architecture is pretty spaced out. You know, of Myanmar, you got the Rangoon. The buildings are all like triangular. It looks like a bunch of Protos buildings, or you got the classical Chinese pagoda temples, or even Tibetan houses, Tibetan manors. They're really Tibetan manors. The square ones, the cubic ones, are really spacey looking. You know, in Bhutan or Tibet or Nepal. Amando Namaste Om Namo Atapo Nami Atapo Om Nami Atapo. But yeah, so the chief tenet of Buddhism is that we spend our lifetimes trying to free ourselves from the matrix. If anything, the scene where Morpheus is explaining to Neo the nature of this VR world illusion, the Matrix, the VR world, is actually quite spot on with Buddhism. that this is all just a dream. This is all just a simulation gun. This world is a player is Ready Player One gone amok. The AI is gone amok. This is like Tron. This world is like Tron, and the MC Master Control Program from Tron is gone amok and imprisoned us all down here, and we keep on dying and reincarnating, rebirthing, and then you got that Morg fellow, over on the YouTube. He used to be a member of the Sideshow Freaks show about carnies and their about the carnival the carnies and their sideshow danger. So he also then decided to take it one step further, his explorations of the mind further, and created a not a religion, but a school of thought, a school of consciousness thought that explores consciousness. And the thing, we're at 57% now. So no hearing more. So yeah, I like what's it, Neoterra, or Hyperionism. That's what it was. He thought of trying to teach us the nature of what Buddha taught thousands of years ago, that this is all just a simulation, a dream. Mecha Shiva's teenage Shiva's dream. This is all we're caught up in. And that's essentially. Although I did not see any, I did not want to understand the mind of a being that conjured me, in physical form, me in reality form, not me in Buddha form. So my mom is a Buddhist, but it's the Pure Land version of Buddhism. As with any other fusion religion, as cultures fuse together, different concepts, different aspects and traits of their religions into something new. Like, say, for example, Voodoo, for example, is based on West African beliefs, their spiritual beliefs, in conjunction with Christian Catholic ones. Even the Catholic Church, Christian churches, have fused together the pagan religions, such as the days of the week, Lord's Day, Freya Day. It's Freya Day is Friday. That kind of thing. Woden Day. So in this case, Buddhism also had a similar kind of transformation as it traveled through China, traveled through Japan and stuff. It's like how you play telephone tag, right? Telephone, and the language slowly translates, or the original code word translates, or the message translates. However, on 53, oddly enough, the ones that I'm in it, we actually when we played telephone like that, it remained its orthodox. It remained its orthodoxy. The message was spot on, 100%. So that's another. If a telephone can explain the differences between generational changes, or translational changes between each different beholder. It also, in this case, it also demonstrated the effects of orthodoxy. 100% stick to the book. The Wahhabi Muslim tradition, where you just 100% stick to Islam as Muhammad teach it before you go into different little versions of Islam, mixing in traditions, especially Asian traditions. Here, 57. Muhammad Suharto of Indonesia. Well, he calls himself Muhammad Suharto, but it's just one name, Suharto. He had so many Indonesian talismans and islander voodoo stuff inside his body that the doctors couldn't even want to fuck around in there. So they couldn't fuck around in there because there's too many weird talismans embedded into his body. So unfortunately he died. Suharto died because he had weird objects in his body. The doctors couldn't operate. But then he lived up to be a pretty long for a dictator, actually. Suharto. Well, as I was saying, orthodoxy, telephone. Oh yeah, so Buddhism. So yeah, Buddhism. The belief that my parents adhere to is the Chinese-based one, where it's the Western Pure Land system, which really strays far from the original Buddhism of Buddha, the Indian one, the Pali canon. So, for example, it mixes a lot of Chinese mythology into it, especially Hanuman the Monkey King. And in fact, Hanuman the Monkey King is actually Goku the Monkey King from Dragon Ball, or it's the Monkey King. It's actually just a story. This is actually not. They create a religion out of it, based on Hanuman, and of course in anime later on, thousands of years later, they created a Japanese anime, same story, a modern retelling of it through Dragon Ball Z. I actually haven't seen Dragon Ball Z, to be honest, so we're at 50% now. So my head feels okay. I'm gonna have to give this thing a good scrub down too once I get a hold of it. I usually let my hair grow out, actually. What's left of it. You know how you have that Homer Simpson cul-de-sac? It comes down like that. Or the Hulk Hogan hair. Remember Hulk Hogan from the 80s? He was losing, him and Randy Savage, the wrestlers, him and his friend, ex-friend Randy Savage, most wrestlers were actually losing the crown, and it goes down like that. It goes down like that. So, out of all the wrestlers in the 80s, I think Hogan's the last. Maybe a handful. I know. Watching the Dark Side of the Ring, there's still it smells like sweaty head oil. I have to actually oil the blades out too. That reminds me, I gotta spread some oil on the blades. But keep the blades sharp. You sharpen it and you just trim it down with oil, so that especially if you're a warrior, you have an axe weapon, just like on Dungeons and Dragons. Remember the Amazonian orc woman. She said berserker woman. She said she was asking the X-Men what kind of oil does he use on his blades, and because the oil puts less friction on the thing that you're trying to cut, and the source of force. In this case, this corkscrew looking thing. 40%, not bad. It makes the engine not burn out so much, not use so much force. Next time I'm gonna wet my head though. So see, now I'm Buddha again. So our next step in the next video is to take the final shower of this fun fest. and explain what's going on. Oh, jeez. Sorry about that. Like I said, I don't have any extra hands. I'm too busy. Well, I mean, I do have an extra hand. Yeah, I do. My chair's just gone and reach down here for some tissue paper and blow my nose, but I didn't think about it. So yeah, like I said, I can like grow out my hair sometimes, and I'm sure that in the future they're going to create some crazy stem cells to kind of regrow, restore dead follicle roots. Just like grass and plants. What happens is that there's a cell body, right? That the particular strain of hair is AI, or plants branches AI, or the main trunk. It's ultimately a tree or a plant or a flower. It's a bunch of the little branches and stuff are just a bunch of stems, just a bunch of branches, or just a bunch of just a bunch of little hairs that are attached to a main root body, of course, in the ground, and that's the ground itself. The main root body is the brain of the plant. Is the main AI. So okay, so 43%. Should we go for another? What time is it now? 16 minutes. Okay. All right. Woo! It's been super hot these past few days too, so. Hey. Make sure there's no loose hairs on the top. I mean, if I grow my hair out a lot, I still have a nice little top hair too. Of course, it's like a slowly dying forest or balding grass. See, as you can tell, if you can tell, this area here is still alive. So, it's just that as we age, body cells don't grow back as we age as well, unless Albedo Gray mucks around and. Now it's like my Buddha beard. So you want to know, probably wondering who this fat Buddha is, not me, but the fat one is. It's really the Japanese god Hotai, the Shinto god, the second Buddha. It's either the smiling Buddha is either him or Hotai. Like I said, fusion religions. Yeah, we're going to oil this thing up once we're done. This past few weeks, this thing has been taking a lot of damage. Not damage, but a lot of work, so we're going to be good to it. We're going to try and make sure one good thing about the Buddhist religion is that it's all about mind. It's just that, we're all intelligence, right? We're all just a spirit, intelligence. Shekinah, a little sliver of light from the large little light shards if you're Jewish, a little light shards from the main light source, Shekinah, and basically, we're all just trying to return back to source, to kind of recreate that ultimate picture of everything, Being kind to the planet just makes this VR simulation world more fun to live in. One more run of this. This was so good. But one good thing about the head shaving is it feels so good though. It exfoliates old skin, right? And exfoliates like dead stuff, and then that's why when you shave, you look younger. And it's a men's spa. All right. It's like a little engine who could, 33% of power. Of course, when you're recharging things, you want to make sure that they go down to 33%. Because if it goes down to anything lower than 33%, the machine works, your device works much more harder to kind of keep up. Oh, I spat again. Oh, yuck. See? It sounded like squeaky sounds. So this too needs to be saved. Or at least needs to be these two needs to be bond shaver, actually. Okay. And then I guess Buddha brushes his teeth. No, that's kind of gross. I won't say that to you. But I won't let you see that. But I'm just gonna charge everything up too while we're here. So let's just plug this thing up, and I usually charge it once a month to its full, just so that I can get full power, and so this thing can. But even that kind of makes it kind of gooey. There we go. So there. So now we know how to take care of our head, our body, our physical world, and make sure that we make good use of our minerals. Nothing wrong with getting using the planet for its minerals to give us stuff we need to use. But we need to do it in a responsible way that honors the planet, by making sure this device lasts, right? From the 80s, and we basically threw everything away in the 80s a lot, and then late 80s, then we come up with recycling, right? And then the city comes up with the recycling bins, and then from the recycling bins they came up with the compost bins. So, Namaste, Om Namo Padme Hum, and Namo Atme Tofu. Now, if you want to stick around, we're going to grab a shower and explain that incident with the Buddha on the sea train. And that's like that here. And yeah, and that'll be my parting message to you. Buddha loves you.